Hello again everyone, welcome back to another video on this wonderful platform we call the internet. And well, this time, sort of a last minute decision, but I decided to talk about this current console generation and well, how underwhelming it is, well at least at launch and stuff. So this isn't in regard to the hardware itself, because, well, the consoles do perform pretty well anyway, but once again it's also about the exclusives side of things. So yeah, so of course for those who, obviously, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X came out late 2020, and well, for many months and all that, there weren't really a wide variety, I guess you could say, of exclusives. I don't really remember what was on the Series X at launch. The PS5 only had two that I can think of. I mean, there was probably more, but the only ones I could think of were Demon's Souls, the Demon's Souls remake, and the new Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, I think it's called. Those are the only two I could think of for the PS5. Let me know if there was any that I missed for the Series X or the PS5 that were at launch or shortly after launch, because once again I don't really remember what was available on the Series X at launch, and the Ratchet and Clank and Demon's Souls remake are the only two I can think of for the PS5. 2021, well, we saw Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, those are the only two I can think of for Series X. PS5 this time, I don't really remember if anything came out on that in 2021. Well, I could be wrong, but yeah. All we got really at the time was just PS5 and Series X upgrades for older games like Ghost of Tsushima and several others and all that, but in terms of actual games released, well, nothing really. So from launch all the way through to 2021, it was pretty bland, I guess you could say. So I mean, you could play all these other games and all, but in terms of exclusives, well, there wasn't really much. I mean, with the backwards compatibility, you could play previously released exclusives and other games and all that on them, but in terms of new releases, exclusive releases, well, there wasn't really anything. I mean, look at the PS4, like, at launch or shortly after launch for the Xbox One, there was Titanfall, Forza Horizon 5, Rise, Son of Rome, I think two other games, I don't quite remember, but those are the three I remember. For the PS4, there was Drive Club, Killzone Shadowfall, Knack, Infamous Second Son, and I think like two or three other games as well. And this was either when the PS4, when those two first came out, or at the very least shortly after. And yet, with the newer ones, PS5 and Series X, well, there were a few at launch, but nothing much of interest. For me personally, it wasn't until 2022 onwards where exclusivity really started to pick up for the PlayStation. I mean, 2021 for the Xbox with Infinite and Horizon 5. 2022 for PS5 with Gran Turismo 7, though the microtransactions and that were pretty egregious, but nonetheless a good game. Graphic-wise, gameplay-wise, all that stuff. Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, which was probably the most anticipated PlayStation exclusive of 2022. As on the Xbox, well, I actually don't remember if there was anything. I don't. But I do remember those three for the PS5. 2023 brought along Redfall for Xbox, which wasn't really very good anyway. And PlayStation, well, once again, I don't really remember. And then this year, well, we have good old Stellar Blade, That's the only one I can really think of. I actually don't even know, can't think of anything else on the Xbox or PlayStation. Like, for real. But, yeah, like it. So that's like about 6 or so exclusives on each console from release to now, and yet the previous generation already had that amount either at launch through to shortly after launch. And yet with this generation it's taken 4 years to finally have that variety of exclusives, really. So yeah. So but it's finally starting to come together with variety of exclusives and all that, but once again, it's taken this long, and well, now I'm wondering what other future releases and console generations are gonna be like. So yeah, that's all I can really say about that. So yeah, once again, keep in mind, 10 years ago, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One first came out, and there was already like 3 to 4 exclusives that were to release alongside it, or at the very least, shortly after. And the Series X and PS5, well, there was only like probably 2 at most. So, oof. So, yeah. So, hopefully, they'll get it right next time, or it will be another situation like with this current generation. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm somewhat skeptical. So, yeah. Anyway, though, thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.